Welcome back to 100 Lies the God Culture teaches about the Philippines. Today we will be exploring Timothy Jay Schwab's claim that Isaiah 46:11 is a prophecy about the Philippines. Tim bases this claim on the fact that the prophet mentions an eagle and the Philippines is home to a large eagle. As we shall see, it is merely one more lie among so many others. Tim makes this claim in his videos.
We also know the dragon physically comes to Earth after the war in heaven, which is a physical war, and he physically attacks the woman. So this indeed plays out in a physical location on Earth, not in the universe, nor anywhere else. This next one, however, is really no coincidence at all. When the dragon attacks the woman, she is given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place. What is the greatest eagle on earth? Well, when you see the word great, it typically means the largest. What is the world's largest eagle? Prophecy also identifies a ravenous bird from the east, in fact, who rises in the last days. And even the scripture, "They shall mount up with wings as eagles," actually appears right in the middle of a passage about the isles of the east. Interesting. These are not arbitrary references. The largest and heaviest eagle on earth is the great Philippine eagle, with a wingspan of about 7 feet, also known as the monkey-eating eagle. Things like this are not overwhelming proof within themselves, we would agree, but when you find this much in this passage, just in the, because that's what we're doing first here, we're dealing with the extra markers, and now we're going to get very specific. And then you see the ties to the sun, moon, and stars. This is very compelling. 100% proven? No. We can say that about other videos. We cannot about this one. But this is prophecy, not geography. And we cannot prove this out to the same degree as of yet, but enough to make one realize this fits better than anything else out there. And it does.
Tim's admission that he cannot prove this claim has not prevented from asserting it to be undisputably true, as he also makes this claim in his book The Search for King Solomon's Treasure.
Prophecy is so abundant once you identify Ophir, Sheba, Tarshish and the isles of the east at the ends of the earth. We will locate the rivers from Eden in the next chapter, then the Garden of Eden and the Mount of the East. However, we have a well-fortified position now and we do not require them for this restoration of prophecy. You will find the Philippines is in the Bible many times. The future of the Philippines is one of the most documented nations in prophecy, and this is significant. Isaiah's Isles of the East are the perfect starting point, and these will build to the end with 3 prophecies that will blow your mind like never before. Please note, we are not, nor do we wish to be prophets. We have little use for most modern prophecy, as it is usually vague enough that anyone could gain some kind of meaning from it. Having restored this history in geography, we simply now know whom Isaiah, Ezekiel and Messiah especially were referencing, the Philippines. We will observe this pattern continuously in these scriptures. These isles in the east will judge the new world order and the final generation, not on judgment day but now. In order to become a judge, one must have an adherence to the law, or they have no measure by which to judge. Wait till you find out Yahuwah will restore his law in this archipelago. There is an organization which attempts to usurp this prophecy for one man who sits at the top collecting the money, of course. This Hebrew word is not simply the word for man but men, it is the word for priests. Do not allow any one man to snatch the prophecy of an entire nation. No one man can fulfill this. This is explained in the other prophecies. This is fascinating because this ravenous bird from the east from a far country tells us much. First, this word is the word for man but could also be men or great men. How do you exercise his counsel? One must judge righteously, which requires one also living righteous. This word ravenous bird or ayat refers to a bird of prey, an eagle. Some do not realize that the Ophir Isles in the east at the ends of the earth actually have the largest eagle on earth. When we mention this, there are those that look up one quick reference or another which make claims, but we are not making a claim here. The Philippine eagle is the very largest eagle. There are essentially 7 categories by which to determine the largest. Some seize on one whose talons are bigger, which we find impertinent in this pursuit, and others focus only on wing portion or wing chord. The Philippines fits every descriptor being engaged in this verse. No single prophet nor apostle can, as they cannot be the Philippine eagle, which is a national symbol of all the people, not one man.
That is all wrong. Isaiah 41:2 and Isaiah 46:11 are about Cyrus the Great, not the Philippines. Tim's translation of Mizrach Tzedekah's righteous priests from the east in Isaiah 41:2 is completely unwarranted. There is no mention of priests in the verse. In fact, there is no word translated man, as that word was inserted by the translators to make the meaning clearer, which is why it is in italics. On the Blue Letter Bible website the word is in brackets. Tim has inserted the word priests for absolutely no valid reason. He has falsified and corrupted the scripture. What sense does it make that priests would rule over kings using their swords and bows? None. It does not fit the context. But the word man does fit the context, because Isaiah 41:2 and Isaiah 46:11 are about the singular man Cyrus the Great. Of course Tim is against this interpretation.
Cyrus was not a bird of prey. Persia's symbol was the peacock, especially and in some eras, the nightingale. The peacock was so revered because of the peacock angel, Asmodeus, the demon of wrath. However, a demon is not a bird of prey either, and peacocks, they must be jesting. Anyone calling those a bird of prey doesn't understand the phrase. Persia is really not a far country from the Middle East. It was very familiar territory in that time. Cyrus was never a righteous man from the Orient. Also, though they began construction, the second temple was not completed under Cyrus, but halted for many years to be completed under Darius. Notice the Jews practically worship Darius because they are Pharisees who originate in Persia as the replacements of the northern tribes. They were the Samaritan scourge. They can worship whomever they wish, but they can't force Cyrus into that passage in any sense. It fails. You are blessed.
Cyrus was not a bird of prey. Well, no kidding. It's a symbolic prophecy. The verse is very explicit that the bird is a man and not a real actual bird. The only man to fit this verse is Cyrus the Great, who is mentioned by name in Isaiah 45:1. Isaiah 45 and 46 are about Cyrus' conquering of Babylon. While the peacock is an important symbol in Persia, the standard of Cyrus the Great was a golden eagle. Xenophon attests to that fact in his biography of Cyrus.
And he gave orders to keep an eye upon his ensign and advance in even step. Now his ensign was a golden eagle with outspread wings mounted upon a long shaft, and this continues even unto this day as the ensign of the Persian king.
The army of Cyrus literally marched into Babylon bearing aloft a ravenous bird. The fact is, these verses are not about the Philippines. Not only does Tim give a false translation of Isaiah 41:2, but he is also ignorant of the fact that Cyrus' standard was an eagle. He is aware that these verses have been interpreted as a prophecy of Cyrus the Great, but he has dismissed that interpretation altogether as something to not even be considered. That Isaiah contains a prophecy of the Philippines is simply one more lie being taught by Timothy Jay Schwab, who is the God culture.